The Tony really encouraged this morning. Said we're in a better spot than we thought we'd be. Looking at the schedule, both he and Sheldon Creed told me this morning there isn't a track coming up until we break in mid-May that we shouldn't win at. Another good opportunity for Creed today. He starts second, Carlo.
200 laps, 200 miles. Off we go in the Arizona desert.
I like Bowman cutting that corner immediately. Some guys take it a little bit easy at the start of the race, but I like that he can get out, get control of this race. Trying to get Sheldon Creed hung out right there, so he's getting to run back on the outside.
And look at Taylor Gray all the way to the bottom there, as low as you can go. He's going to make 3 or 4 positions up into the top 4. What a move by Taylor Gray. And one thing to note, if you see those cars dive below that yellow line on the start, you don't want to do that before the start-finish line. That could be a penalty.
Yeah, Jesse Love was so patient right there with Sammy Smith, who looked like he couldn't get going, didn't have the grip that he needed on the initial start. Love was pretty patient, though, and gave him just a second to get his car gathered up.
3 wide. We've seen it multiple times already. Bright green 41 is Sam Mayer. To his right, the rookie in that 48 car, Nick Sanchez.
Big balance shift here from the very beginning of the run. Like, what's your balance there versus 10 laps in versus 20 laps in? You want to have a car that has good short run speed, but we know we're going to see some longer runs today, so you got to make sure you have the balance on both ends of that.
Well, you see bottom left too. Opening stage is 45 laps. Stage 2 is the same. Sometimes you have to get into the final stage before you really know who the players are when you get on that extended run.
We're looking at Jesse. Didn't do anything wrong. Jesse got into him and lost all that momentum. It's going to take him multiple laps now to get those positions back that he lost.
And all day, you will push it there. You will get to points off that corner when you're side by side where you're convinced you're going to have contact. And almost every time you come off that corner trying to make a pass, you will have contact. It compresses so much on the exit that if you're side by side, it's almost inevitable. Whoa! Taylor Gray sideways.
Yeah, and we talk about how wide this track is, and it is. You're going to see cars all over it today. But I think it's also one of the hardest tracks to complete a pass on. You'll catch somebody, and even though there's kind of multiple grooves, it's really hard to complete that pass. And that's the other reason guys are so aggressive when they get underneath, is because they know that's their opportunity to make that pass.
A couple of drivers to watch early. Justin Allgaier cut his deficit in half after qualifying 14th.
Yeah, we got the 42 stopped on pit roads. We saw Anthony Alfredo with that issues. We were coming to green. The car just doesn't have the power right now, so he stopped. Nascar has to throw the caution to figure out what's going on and get him out of the way.
Second caution of the day. First for the stage in. This one for Anthony Alfredo in the 42. Eric Almirola leading in Phoenix. We're back in a moment on the CW.
Effect that you have when you're back a little bit in the and it happens often here. It's really easy to have.
Well, let's take a look at Williams' Race Fit Health Report, brought to you by Bread's Tree. Must be nice to be young.
Yeah.
I'm 5'11". I'm not 155.
No, not enemy. I'm going to point out right here, look at this fitness. Strength endurance, sensory training. That's the idea of trying to figure out basically your reactions and that sort of thing. Shoulder mobility and posterior chain strength. Didn't even know that was a sentence here. I actually was watching a video of Lando Norris training booth benchmarks the F1 driver, Lando Norris, before the season started, and a lot of I see Swalwich doing.
I know that. That's called a plank.
Yeah, well, but some of those things mentioned, that's what he was doing. So that's the race car driver training you have to do these days. Sensory training, heat training, it's all part of it.
How long can you hold a plank?
I don't know.
90 seconds? I don't know.
I'll say this jump rope is awesome.
I can do 2 minutes. You want me to just show you here?
We do. We'll save that for the pre-race next week.
Thanks.
The one thing, as we show what all these guys do for training inside the car, the one thing that the hardest part to duplicate is the heat. Because heat just
for him is whoever was in front of him sort of got in early. He probably wanted to get in even earlier than that, try to get some air to the nose, get this visual on the yellow line, and actually caught that inside wall. Gosh, I've been close, but I've never done it.
Yeah, and what Parker's saying there is everybody fans out. If you're the second car back on the inside, you go just a foot to the inside of the guy in front of you, and it just gets magnified the further back you get. But it looked like to me that he misjudged. You see Sammy Smith right there, the 8 car. He's right behind him. He's already pretty low as they enter the corner.
Oof.
Gosh. He hit 6 feet back.
But it's the angle there. You saw Sammy Smith was 3 wide, so he was turning in super early. That just shades your ability to even see that wall. And Austin obviously caught it right at the wrong point, and it's just...
and it caught him off guard.
Oh,
he didn't realize that was going to happen until it was too late.
Yeah.
That's what you hate, though. I mean, these are cars that could have won the race for sure. The double